Hey guys, so welcome back to another Against the Grain podcast episode. We're your hosts, Ariana and Allie. I'm really excited for this one. I feel like the Lord has really been leading me to do this, and I'm really excited to do it with you. Um, Honestly, it's a huge part of my testimony. Today we're speaking about loneliness. I feel like it's a big topic in our generation. I feel like that we all struggle with,
Yeah, for sure.
but where it started in my journey was I grew up with social anxiety. I did school in a basement. Like your girl was had such a close circle and was in a bubble for so long. And I never really had friends my age, so that created that sort of really awkward I don't know how to interact with people basically.
Yeah.
Um but in 2020, I had to be homeschooled because of my social anxiety, so I never really and everything was closed down anyway.
Right.
So I think that just made it worse,
Yeah.
and I think it made it worse for a lot of teens too
Mm.
through that time. But through that, the Lord has really taught me what true friendship looks like,
Mm.
and I can't wait to dive into it.
Yeah.
The first one I have, and I just want to make this clear, is loneliness is not a sin.
Right.
And I struggled with that for so long. I thought I was, doing something bad. Honestly thought that God left me, but he made community. It says in Genesis 2:18 that it is not good for man to be alone. And when I first read that, I was like, "Oh, it's biblical to be in community."
Right.
What does community look like to you?
I feel like I don't know. There's a bunch of different types of community and everything, but
Yeah.
I feel like a steady and safe community and environment is people who obviously lift you up, encourage you, and just have a genuine not more than just a surface level of knowing you.
Yeah.
Knowing more than just your name and where you go to school, but knowing the parts of you that you don't want to share with people.
Mhm.
But also people just that are s- um equally yoked and want to pursue the Lord with you.
Mhm.
Um but yeah, I feel like that's a good sense of a good community.
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying of actually having a genuine connection.
Yeah.
Um, I think for me, again, going back to saying that community is biblical, when I read that verse, I remember writing down loneliness isn't something to be ashamed of. It's a signal that we're created for connection.
Mhm.
And so being in an environment that I didn't have community, I had this longing to be in community, but since of course anxiety got in the way, I didn't have
Yeah.
that. So on my journey of figuring out anxiety and having to deal with it, um, I honestly had this journey with God of what true community looks like. And I found this it's from C.S. Lewis. I love C.S.
I
Lewis.
love this.
But I found this a couple years ago, and it's a quote, and he said, "Look for yourself, and you will find loneliness and despair, but look for Christ, and you will find Him in everything else."
Mm.
So when I was relying on my own strengths and abilities, and anytime that I would do that, I would just spiral even more into
Right.
this really dark and despair hole. But when I started seeking God, I actually found a best friend, and that sounds so cliche, but he truly was my
Yeah.
everything. So how I don't know, I just kind of wanna dive deeper into also what does a friendship look like with God?
Yeah. I feel like when I first started to know Jesus, I didn't have a good community at all. Honestly, I was doing it completely on my own. I was going to church on Sundays, but that was it. I didn't do anything else. And then as soon as I cut those branches off with all those friendships, I sat in my bed every day for 3 weeks crying because I felt so alone, and the
Mm,
same thing, I didn't understand why.
yeah.
Because, I had just started following Jesus, and I was like, "Oh, but I thought, he was supposed to give me community. I thought he was supposed to, make me whole and give me all this stuff," and I felt, so alone, and I was "Why is he taking away my friends?" Um, and, in that time, I really started to rely on, having a friendship with the Lord, and instead of this is something, huge for me, but instead of, posting on my private Snapchat story about, a random thought that came into my mind, I would, say it to God instead. And, obviously, he's not gonna be there to be like, "Ha ha, so funny,"
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's it's the same feeling of, like, getting that thought off of your chest, but, like, the whole world doesn't have to know.
For sure.
And I don't know, it just I really, started depending on a friendship with Jesus because I was like, "Okay, like, this is someone in my life who has literally picked me up and saved me, like,
Mm,
radically,
mm,
but also he's not gonna get mad at me. He's
mhm,
not gonna leave me. He's not like, he doesn't hate me.
mhm.
He, like, tells me all of this truthful stuff, and, like, what better of a friend is there than Jesus?
Come on.
'Cause, like, your friends
Yeah.
humans, we're gonna disappoint each other. Like, we're gonna
Mhm,
get angry at each other. We're gonna say something that makes, like, one another upset. Jesus isn't. He's the purest, like, form of a friendship and love. And
mhm.
I don't know, that was just, like, the fact that, like, Jesus is the best friend we possibly could have.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just saying, "Oh, he's my best friend." No, like, he is the best friend that we could have.
Yeah. I love
So
that. I totally get what you're saying. I also experienced that too. Something that I learned was feeling lonely does not mean being abandoned by God.
right.
And that like blew my mind because when I felt lonely, I thought I had nobody. Like,
Mhm.
um, but God was always there. He even says in his word, like, I will never leave you nor forsake you. Even in those moments, he's right there. He's more present than anybody else could be.
Right.
And truly, like, God was my best friend. He was my therapist. I would just
Yeah.
tell him everything. And when I opened up, that's when I began to see true, like, healing. And I started to feel, like, his unconditional love for me. Um, and another thing that he really, like, taught me was you can feel deeply alone and still be deeply loved by God at the same time. It
Yeah.
says in Psalm 34:18, "The Lord is near to the brokenhearted." And during that time when I was just really spiraling, he was near. He loved me as I was. He never saw a better version of me. He loved all of me, and I had to come to terms with that.
Yeah.
Um, let's dive into social media because I feel
Yeah.
like social media is like the biggest thing of making like us feel lonely and isolated.
100%.
How has your like social media journey affected your mental health, your friendships? Let's speak on it.
Um, I, like, go through these, like, phases every few months where I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna delete all social media, like, I need it to just be gone." And then, like, something just, like, happens in my brain, we're like, "No, like, I need it back." And, like, I get it back, and then it's just, like, the same cycle over and over again. But, um, I feel like we look at social media and we instantly, like, not even thinking about it, honestly, but we immediately compare it to our lives. And it's like, you see a group of people all hanging out and you're like, "Oh, dang, like, I wish I had friends like that."
Yeah.
Or like, "Oh, all of them are hanging out without me." Or like, "Oh, they're doing this.
Yeah.
I wish I was doing this instead of, like, sitting in my bed doing nothing." Like, it's so easy to just, like, look at somebody's story, somebody's post, anything, just be like, "Mm, like, I"
Mm.
like, it just compare like, it's so
Yeah.
comparative. Or, like, when I, um wasn't friends with all the people that, like, I was friends previously with, um, I would, like, see all their posts and everything, and I would just sit in my bed and I would literally just cry because I was like, I feel so, like, everyone's getting along so well and everything, and I have no one.
Mhm.
But it's so fake.
Yeah.
It's so
Cool.
fake.
Keyword.
Like,
Mhm.
social media is just a mask, like, nobody shows the real parts of them on social media.
Mhm.
Like, everything's a little staged, everything is, like, thought about before posting, it's not genuine,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's, like, your I'm gonna go back to the private story
Yeah.
thing. Your private story and the people you have on your private story aren't, like, that's not friendship, or this is why I deleted Snapchat to begin with. I have it back now, but I need to delete it. But I deleted it for a while because a photo of half of your forehead is not a friendship.
Oof. Speak the truth.
A photo of the ceiling fan
Mhm.
isn't a conversation. If you wanna have a
Mhm.
conversation, text me, call me, talk to me like a human being. A photo of half of your face or your ceiling fan or the number next to their name of your streak of how long you've been snapping each other back and forth isn't determining your friendship.
Yeah.
Your best friends list on Snapchat is not
Mhm.
your best friends.
Mhm.
That doesn't mean anything.
Mhm.
it's fake and it's, like, just not genuine.
Yeah, no true connection.
Yeah.
Keyword fake. We only see a glimpse of somebody's life on
Mhm.
social media.
Right.
I personally don't have social media. I got rid of it a long time ago. And
Yeah.
it's funny because like I feel like I'm the only teen that like their parents like get social media, and I'm like, no, I don't want it because
Yeah.
I know once I get it, how fast I will spiral down.
Yeah.
And comparison is a thief of joy. You
It sure
never know.
is.
Like somebody could post a happy picture, but you never know where their mental health is.
Right.
And you're like, I wish I was them. I wish I was doing what they're doing, but they could be in a terrible season.
Mhm.
They could be like out of alignment of God's will. You only see a glimpse. And I love how you said highlight reel. And God came to me with this question. He was like, are you showing your real self or just your highlight reel? Are you putting on a performance? And I was like, whew. And my act again, ceiling fan, half of your forehead is not like there's
Conversation.
nothing anything wrong with social media. Social media can be used for good or bad.
Mhm.
I'm not like totally against it. But for me personally, I've seen my mental health spiral when I would have
Yeah.
it. Because I feel like I'd be putting on performance. I feel like I wouldn't have those like genuine
Right.
connections that deep down we're all longing for and that we're all made for.
Mhm.
Um, yeah.
I have, like, an example of, like, how the, like, deep connection part, how social media, like, corrupts that. If you're having lunch with 4 of your friends and, like, your plates come out and you're all, like, ready to, like, pray or dig in, like, whatever,
Yeah.
and someone's taking a picture and it's like, "Hold on, I need to post this." That, like, that ruins the whole dynamic.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, "Oh, well, now we have to wait for this
Yeah.
person to post that on social media."
Mhm.
I'm like, I know for me, I was like, a hot second, I was so, like, wrapped up in who was looking at my social media. Like, I would check my Instagram stories every 10 minutes to see who viewed them,
Yeah.
and it's like, that's crazy. I'm not putting on a show, I'm not why do I care?
Mhm.
Like, that's
Mhm.
not a true connection. Someone's viewing my story, you know how many things else they're doing in the show? Like,
Yeah.
it's just like, I
Yeah.
don't know.
There's nothing there at the end of the day,
Yeah.
and I had to come to terms with that also, and that's why honestly I deleted mine. The only social
Mhm.
media I have is Snapchat too, but like I
Yeah.
rarely use that. Um because also like the enemy I feel like has really used that in I try to say like teens' lives of again comparison,
Yeah.
putting on a show. Again, like are you showing your highlight reel? You're not being honest. I feel like there's a lot of like fakeness, and at the end of the day, I know for me, I want honesty and
Mhm.
authenticity. Um, during my journey of really coming out of my social anxiety and trying to find my footing in this crazy world that we
Mhm.
just came out of the pandemic and
Right.
now like I'm like, all right, like how do I plug in? I feel like the Lord really healed me. A lot of my social anxiety, praise the Lord, but it's like, all right, how do I now step out in faith and find community? Um, I have a really unique story with it. I think I've shared this before in the podcast, but I could never go to youth group. I really struggled with it. Um, so my community was basically all young adults.
Mhm.
It was like 20 and 30-year-olds, not in a weird way, but it really truly was young adults. And during that time, of course, I felt really weird because I'm like, wait, I feel really abnormal. I
Yeah.
feel like this is not really common. But I knew that it was a part of my story. And now that I look back, I'm so grateful for it because truly I had mentors pouring into me.
Mhm.
Like we would, of course, they got to know me just as a friend, but like truly, like they showed me the love of God. They didn't care that I feel like in a church community, doesn't matter what age you are, like, I feel like
Mhm.
we're just automatically, like,
Just
friends.
yeah, click.
Um, but truly, like, they really poured into me
Mhm.
and loved me right where I was, and that's what I needed. And that honestly, like, that changed my life on how I see community.
Right.
And through that, God pointed me to youth group and starting to go to youth
Yeah.
group because I felt comfortable in myself But one of the main things that I learned was loneliness should point us towards community, not independence. I feel like, we can be in community and
Yeah.
still feel lonely. And I think I shared with
Yeah.
you this before, like,
Yeah.
I was crying one time in the bathroom, I was like, "Allie, like, I
Yes.
just nobody likes me." I feel like we all kind of
Yeah.
have that thought. So what are some of the things that, you can speak about just your journey of finding that community,
Yeah.
but also let's acknowledge, like, we can still feel lonely at the end of the day.
Mhm. This is something that I talk about a lot, but I feel like at my home church and my youth group, not here, at my other church, I walk into youth group and we have a lot of kids and we're so blessed to like have that many kids there. And I love being able to like be a part of the team to help set up, pray over like all the small groups, everything. It's great. And I have these like deep connections with like my leaders and everything. When, like, the kids start filing in, it's, like, it's so great to see everyone coming in, and I could say hi to everyone there, and I know just about everyone's name, and everyone there just about knows me, like, I'm on announcements every once in a while, like, I'm like, a known person, and I know people there, but I don't know people there, and people there don't know me.
Yeah.
Like, there's surface level knowledge of each other, but there's no intimate, like, one-on-one, genuine, like, I don't even know what the word I'm looking for is, but, like, connection and, like,
Mhm.
care. Like,
Mhm.
I feel like I could be in the center of that entire room and everyone around me could be talking, and I would still struggle to find someone to talk to.
Yeah.
Or, like, in a room full of people, I feel so, like, alone and, like, secluded
Mhm.
because a lot of things I used to relate with all of my friends at my church, I no longer do. Like, for sports, I literally gave up my cross country season because I was floating as an idol. And then the Lord took away my swimming season, definitely 'cause I was floating as an idol, but, like, I used to be able to connect with all my friends on that, and I can't anymore.
Yeah.
Or, like, when I had a boyfriend, like, all of my friends who had boyfriends, like, we would all talk about it. I don't, like, relate on that level anymore. Or, like, there's just so many things that I don't have in my life anymore, and it's really difficult because I feel so alone
Mhm.
when I'm, like, in a group with all of my friends that I've known for years. But, like, that's, like, huge, but yeah, like, I definitely there's, like, a sense of loneliness and being alone, but, like, at the same time, if I walk upstairs and just sit by myself in the sanctuary, it doesn't feel like I'm alone. But when I'm downstairs with those 60, 70 kids, I feel like I am alone.
Yeah.
But when I'm upstairs and I'm just like, my mind is centered on what God's saying to me, I don't feel that sense of, like, I have no one because I know, like, I do have somebody.
Yeah.
And, like, I used to meet with my one mentor, Abby, like, every other week, and she literally, like, spoke this into me so much. It was like, you do have, like, community, like, I love you, like, our leaders, we're
Mhm.
all, like, we want to pour into you." And it's like, I a lot of times when you get into your head too much, that's when you feel alone. But, like, you
Mhm.
have to get out of your head and realize the people around you do love and care for you.
Yeah.
But you get so wrapped up in thinking like, "Oh, I'm lonely, I'm alone, I have no one," that becomes, like, the precedent in your life. Like what I was saying earlier, our thought life shapes the way that we live.
Yeah. For
Like,
sure.
saying, "Oh, I'm alone, I'm lonely, I'm this, and this," like, that's what you're gonna believe.
Yeah.
The more you speak something, the more you're gonna believe it. Like, "No, I have people, people love me, I'm in community, I can go and talk to this person without getting anxious and crying." Like,
Yeah.
that's truth.
True community. Yeah.
Like,
For sure.
that's yeah,
Yeah.
like, that's what truth is.
Okay. Yeah. I love that. Again, just stepping into true community. It all starts with a friendship with God.
Mhm.
If you want community, have a friendship with God.
Yeah,
Even if you don't know him, he invites us into a friendship with him.
right,
Before we close out, I just want to say as somebody who feels lonely, I know this is going to sound like very cliche, but you're not alone.
right.
Everybody deals with loneliness. But let me tell you, when you have a relationship with God, you genuinely like you pick up a family in the church.
Mhm.
So my advice to you is like get connected.
Yeah,
Show up when it's uncomfortable.
that's a big one.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah.
I loved having this conversation. I love honest conversation. And again, I pray that you find true community. Bye.
Yeah.